Hey, what's up, y'all? So I am a gamer. I like RPG games, like games that you play a character. I'm not really into the criminal stuff or the military stuff, so I like magical shit, like like Elder Scrolls or Zelda, shit like that. A lot of times when you're on a quest and you are working to get to a main boss. All right, you're working to get to a boss, or get to the next level. Sometimes on certain levels there are boons, like there are side quests that you can do before you get to the boss, that gives you an advantage, that makes the fight against the boss easier. So, for example, let's say this boss is like a dragon with two or three heads, like a fire breathing dragon head, and then it has like a water shooting dragon head, and then it has like a little green dragon head that kind of be spitting poison. Okay, and so you yourself, you know that your armor is kind of like water resistance. You from like the water tribe of whatever. So the dragon that spits like water at you ain't gonna really hurt you because you can kind of maneuver through that. It might hurt you a little bit, but it's easier to maneuver through that water spitting dragon as opposed to this motherfucking fire breathing dragon, because you ain't got no resistance to him. He can burn shit out of you. You feel what I'm saying? But then the little green one, his little poison, while it can hurt you in the moment, like if you get real up close to it, but long as you stay far away, that little poison little dragon ain't gon' his neck ain't long, so he can't really come fuck with you. You feel what I'm saying? His neck ain't long. He tricky though, because he can tempt you to go closer to him, but it makes you more vulnerable to the other ones, because his little poison, it really affects them. Like when he spits out at you and try to get you to come to his poison, it really affects the other two heads, like in a negative way. So he tricky though, but he ain't really harmful. But he a part of the dragon. You feel what I'm saying? So you just gotta be careful. But all this shit, it's the boss. The whole thing is the boss. The whole thing is the problem. For you to get to the next level, that's just what it is. You feel what I'm saying? So you need some help, a boon, particularly from the fire dragon. That one is the one that can really, really harm you. Like they all can harm you, but that one is the one that is either gonna make the battle go really, really long, or it's gonna kill you, and you're not gonna beat it. So you go down this little side quest that takes you to, this little box. You got to find this little box. You got to figure a way. Now, the side quest is ridiculous. There are all kinds of shit trying to make you not get to the box. But you trying to get to the box so you can get this special shield of the lava goddess of the volcano. And when you get this shield, it protects you from fire attacks. All right? It protects you from fire attacks. It makes you super super resistant to where the attacks can't hit you at all, or it takes the hit points down 20%, or you know what I'm saying? Like it gives you some type, you go get this, you do the side quest, it gives you some type of help to fight this particular boss on this level, so you can go to the next level of the game. All right, that's how I think about my voting strategy in this election. All my life I have advocated against wars, the war on drugs, Iraq. There always has been something political, my political adult life. There was always something happening where I had to advocate or organize against it. There's always harmful policies that are directly impacting my life. When we think about the war on drugs, when we think about the crime bill of the 90s, when we think about so many policies that come from Democrats and Republicans that have negatively impacted my life, I have to be against these things and vote in my best interest in regards to these crazy negative policies that have come in my life throughout my whole. I'm 43 now. That has been a part of my life, my adult political life. I cannot imagine that that is going to change in January. I can imagine that I'm not going to, is some administration, whatever one it wins, that I'm not going to have to organize against them. But my strategy, my voting strategy, is that I want the boon of being able to choose which administration I am going to be organizing against. Because in the future, one of the two, all of them I'm going to have to organize against, like I have been doing for my whole life. But one is going to be harder if I don't have the boon. Whatever fight that's coming forward about getting rights, whatever rights that may be, I am going to have to fight against them. Making sure that I'm fighting against a Harris administration just makes my future fights much, much easier than a Trump administration. And even if there are issues that people care about more than I do, there are some issues that impact me more directly than other issues. But there are other issues that impact other people more directly than it impacts me. Now, we know that all these socio-political issues are connected. We know this from political scholarship. We know these from our ancestors. We know these things, now that we have hindsight looking back on issues, we know these things from history, that these things are interconnected. So I know that all issues impact me, but some are more impactful than others, more directly impactful than others. So when I know that other organizers are battling those issues, let's say, for example, there's somebody who is a climate change worker, or somebody who is a reproductive justice worker, or somebody who is an organizer that organize labor workers. While I'm not on the front lines of those fights, I care about people who organize in those fights. And so I am going to make sure that my vote puts them in a position to be successful, just as it puts my own organizing work and issues, puts me in a position for me to be successful. Even if they don't care to vote. Like, even if there's another organizer who is like, I'm disinvesting from voting because I don't like either one of these administration, I know that their fight, my strategy is that their fight needs to be easier too. And I know that I can't throw my vote away, because however they are thinking or brainwashed or just disinvested, I know that the administration is going to impact them, the administration that we have in office. And so I need to be responsible and make sure that my vote it puts them in a position to be successful too. And so my strategy is to make my vote matter, even for them, even if they don't care. So that's my strategy, to make life easier in battles later on when it comes to whichever administration is in office. And I think the boon of my fight is to have the easier battle with a Harris administration. And that's my voting strategy. What's yours?